Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hussein is here with another video and a new bike for the channel. Alright, here we are with a 2019 Yamaha TW200 known as T-Dub. Well, before knowing about the Yamaha TW200, I always thought that the longest production goes to Honda XR650L, which they produced that bike since 1993, and they are still producing it like brand new with no changes, probably like for like 30 years. But when I learned about TW200, I realized that they have been building this bike exactly the same, no changes, since 1987. So literally for 35, 36 years, they have been producing this Yamaha with no change. Probably the only minor change was like initially they had the Kickstarter as well, but I think after 2009 or 10, they removed the Kickstarter, but you can still add a Kickstarter like so easy. So the other thing is, like, when you think about why a company produces exactly the same bike with no changes for like 35 years, it already tells us that this bike has been very successful and it's been working for all these years, right? The other thing is TW200, it has its own category. There is no other bikes in the same category. Obviously this is a 200cc dual sport motorcycle. It has like a very short seat height. It's like roughly 31 inches. But for the most part it's known to be a beginner bike because of the engine size, which is like a 200cc very forgiving engine, just enough horsepower. I think it's got like literally like 16 horsepowers. And then at the same time, like a lot of people use this bike for things like hunting, fishing, farm bike. And this bike is known to be the tractor of the bikes. When they started producing this machine, they advertised it as an agriculture motorcycle. So it goes to the same category as combines, tractors, tillers, things like that, right? Now let's talk about why I bought this bike. I had the XR650L, but XR650 is like a huge bike, it's very heavy, and I was just beginning to learn some like dual sport riding, trail riding, and honestly, I mean, riding XR650L like a 340 pounds bike, it wasn't like really easy, right? And it was kind of scary because I was like, what if I drop this bike on the trail? It's not easy to pick it up, and it's not like the seat height is very high, so it's not like that comfortable. If you have been on the channel enough, you know that like previously I had a Suzuki SP200 and I love that bike. So I couldn't find any SP200 anymore. So it's equal bike to the Suzuki DR200, right? So I was looking for a lightweight motorcycle to start taking it on the trails, practice things like wheelies and things like that, and to be a little bit more comfortable. And in the other hand, a little bit more forgiving, so I knew that I'm gonna drop it, so I can easily pick it up. And yeah, overall, that's what I was looking for. But honestly, I didn't came across any like decent 200cc lightweight dual sport, and it had to be dual sport. I don't have a truck or something to take the bike to the trail, and I wanted to be able to ride it on the streets as well. So even when it comes to the TW200s, they keep their value very well. And like I looked at like a couple on Craigslist and Facebook. I just looked at like a couple of them. Most of them, they were like very old, beaten up, and still just people were asking for like $2,000, $3,000 for those bikes. So I came across this one. This is a 2019, only 2,000 miles. It was almost brand new, right? So I met with the guy, I was able to just negotiate on the price, and then I think I paid like $4,000 for this bike. And I just rode it home. Everybody who has ridden a TW200, like when you ask them, they say that like this is a bike that like every time that you ride it, it just puts on a smile on your face because it's just, it's very comfortable. And like the moment that you hit the gravel and you take this bike on the trail, it feels like very natural. And because of that fat tire, it has like so much grip, which it just climbs everything. So the C-type, 31-inch C-type, super nice, you can just hop on very easily. And on the other hand, it's like super light. It's got probably 250, 60 pounds of weight, and it's just very nimble. As you can see, you can just literally drop it and just lift it like so easy. The seat is very comfortable. You can fit a second passenger super easy. It's very comfortable for them to hop on and hop off. I know that I mentioned this bike has like roughly 16 horsepower. So as far as the top speed, the speedo says 80, right? My experience around like 50, 55 comfort zone. But still, it's super fun on the street. Like you can lean very easily, and it has kind of a torquey engine. It has a good amount of low-end power that you can just easily pop the front tire up. But at the same time, again, it's like very easy to maneuver between the cars in the traffic, and it just has enough power to just put a distance between you and the car by you. TW200 in the stock form needs some upgrades if you want to just push it or take it to the trails. Things like foot pegs, exhaust. So I'm going to show you what I've done to this bike. Alright, so first thing first, I've got larger foot pegs, because the foot pegs are pretty tiny when they come from the factory. And then another thing that I did to this bike is the DG exhaust. The stock exhaust, it just looks very bad, and this DG exhaust, it just adds a bit of a performance to the bike, and on the other hand, it looks so good in compared to the to the stock exhaust. The other must-have on the TW is the rack. As far as the look of the TW200, my main issue with the bike was rectangular kind of 80s headlight. I know like a lot of people will hate me. I wanted to do something different. If you look on Pinterest or Google, a lot of Japanese people, or even here in America, a lot of people have done like crazy scrambler builds and things like that, right? But since this bike was almost brand new, I didn't want to chop or make crazy modifications to the bike, and I wanted to just try to see how it feels to do something different. So I came up with this idea of a round headlight. At the same time, I was like, okay, I can do the round headlight, but what about the fairing? So I found this fairing on Amazon, and I paired it with that 7-inch headlight, and I honestly loved the look of it, because my main issue with TW200 is the rear end of the bike, it feels and looks so heavy because of that fat tire and bulky seat, but the front end, it looks very small. So I just wanted to keep that balance. So because of that, I realized that I have to focus on this whole area. And then as far as the fender, 2019 comes with this color original fender. So I wanted to just black out the bike. So I removed this one. I ordered a factory black front fender. ProCycle.us, they have this amazing mount bracket, and it gives you like 4 holes, so you can literally mount any kind of high fender. And overall, I really love the look of it. Now I'm gonna turn on this LED headlight so you get to see how it looks. Okay. Super bright, and it's almost making me blind. So as I mentioned in the beginning, this channel is all about the experiences. There are like a ton of bikes out there that, we normally don't even consider them. But, each of those bikes, they have their own world, and all of them are fun in their own unique way. And this bike is very unique. It has like TW200, it has its own class. And, this is the only bike in that category. After Suzuki Van got discontinued, TW200 is like the only bike in that trail riding category, and that's the only bike out there that can do it. But as far as my plans for the bike, again, this channel is all about the experiences. So I bought this bike, I tried it, I had my own experience. I'm like super happy for what it is. You know, this is a bike that you have to accept for what it is, right? This is a trail bike, it's not a street bike, but still you can have your fun on the street as well. But as far as my plans, I was planning to black out this bike. I'm looking for a rear fender eliminator, you know. I'm gonna remove this whole part, the license plate mount and you know the blinkers and everything, and put an LED tie detail light in the back. And then next thing is I'm going to move the license plate right here, just to, you know, to have that, you know, scrambler style motorcycle. And after that, I'm gonna call it. All right, that was it. So hope you enjoyed this video. So please comment your thoughts, ideas, critiques, whatever. Just put them in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell and turn on the notification, because you're gonna get notified whenever I post a new video. Well, ride safe, enjoy, ciao.